Now we're going to learn some bird songs. I find it best to remember what a bird song sounds like when I actually see the bird singing. If you ever see a bird making its call, really watch it and cue in onto it so you really remember it. I find that whenever I do that, I never forget that bird or its call. Right now, we're going to learn some bird songs by using multiple senses and parts of our body. Specifically, we're going to listen to the bird songs, watch the bird sing it ourselves with our mouths, and then draw graphs of the bird songs, just like you saw in Birdsong Hero. You should have a worksheet titled Birdsongs and Other Sounds. It looks like this. Be sure to pause the video until you find it. If you can't find it, then don't worry, just use a blank sheet of paper. Be sure to write your name at the top. Let's start by looking at and listening to the Acorn Woodpecker. To me, that sounds a lot like waka 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 waka. Can you make that sound with me? Waka 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 waka. Now the acorn woodpecker, when it makes that call, it's telling its friends, hey, I'm over here, so that the rest of the flock knows where they are. Now let's listen one more time, and for this one I'm going to draw it with you. Now, when I hear this call, it sounds a lot like a sawtooth, so I'm going to draw a sawtooth like this for the acorn woodpecker. Now you can draw it like that if you want to, or you can draw something else if you hear it differently than I do. Okay, now that we can visualize the call, let's hear it again, watching the bird and looking at our drawing. So it goes waka 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 waka. Let's draw one more together, and then I'll let you do the rest on your own. This is also the acorn woodpecker, the same exact bird, but it's going to make a very different sound. Let's listen. That's the same exact bird, but a totally different sound. It's hammering against the tree to say, this is my spot, get away, to all the other acorn woodpeckers. The acorn woodpeckers also hammer against trees to make holes in the wood to store their acorns for later. Now, let's listen one more time and then we'll draw it together. Now, to me, this drumming, what we call drumming, sounds a lot like we could actually drum with our pencils. So I'm just gonna make some light dots across the page to indicate that it's drumming. Now, if it sounds different to you, feel free to make a different drawing, but that's what it sounds like to me, so I'm going to draw a bunch of dots across the page. And I'll give you a minute to do that yourselves. Okay, fantastic. Now once again, let's listen to it, look at our drawing at the same time. Dot, 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 dot. Isn't that cool? For the rest of these, I'm going to let you try it on your own, but I believe in you. I think you can do it. It'll be amazing. Next, we're going to look at the mourning dove. They're called that not because they only exist in the morning, but because their song sounds really sad and melancholy. Let's take a listen. Mourning doves make this call to make contact with the rest of their flock, and sometimes they use it to attract mates. Let's try to copy it together. Hoo, 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 hoo. Do it with me. Hoo, 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 hoo. Now, I'll play it for you one more time, and then you can draw it. To me, this sounds like a very soft, lilting song. So when I would draw it, I would draw a lot of smooth curves. You draw it however you want to. I'll give you a minute. Welcome back. Let's move on to the next bird, the house finch. Now, house finches have these beautiful red faces and chests and brown backs. Let's listen to their call. Wow, there's a lot in there, but let's try to copy it anyways. It sounds to me very melodious for the first part, and then a high pitch going up at the end. So it's hard to do. If you can whistle, try it. You can use your mouth too. You know the drill now. I'm going to play it for you again, and then you're going to draw it. Now it's time to draw it. I know it's a toughie, but do your best. Let's next move on to the Allen's hummingbird. Now, these are little hummingbirds, but they can actually pack quite a call. Let's listen. That's quite a feisty bird. He's basically saying, "Get out of here, this is my spot," to all the other birds in the area. To me, it sounds like he's saying, "Zee, chuppity chuppity chup chip chup." Can you sing that with me? Zee, chuppity chuppity chup chup. Zee, chuppity 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 chup. All right, I'm gonna play it for you again, and then you're gonna draw it. All right, when you draw it, really try to get that Z in there. I really hear that distinctly, and I think you can capture that in the drawing. Okay, last on our sheet is the California quail. They like to scurry around on the ground to eat seeds and leaves. Let's listen to their call. Isn't that lovely? To me, it sounds exactly like she's saying Chicago. Chicago, Chicago. Sing it with me. Chicago, Chicago. When a California quail sings this song, she's singing it as an assembly call, basically saying, "Hey, rest of my flock, this is where I am. Let's assemble and get back together." To me, this sounds a lot like three very distinct tones being called out at very distinct pitches. Now, I'm going to give you a minute to draw it, and I'll come back. Great job, everybody. I hope you had fun using more of your senses and parts of your body to try to remember these calls and who sings them. I'll see you out in the field, hopefully very soon.